I'm in Sydney's Blue Mountains and I'm heading over to a spring that's not as commonly known in the area. It's called the Shaman spring and probably mostly got its name from the sort of alternative health people that do come and visit this spring. The one in North Lawson Park is a lot more accessible and easy to collect your water in. This one's more of a slow drip, and it's right on the cliff of a mountain. It's not as sweet as the other spring as well, but it does have a really good aura to it. A lot of the locals know where it is, and it's not one that's on the map. It's just one of those ones that when you've been around the traps for a while, you sort of get to know a few people and they may sort of give you the directions for this one. Anyway, this one's one of my personal favourite springs, and I like it just because of the fact that once you have a chance to have a look at it, you'll see the enormity of it. You actually have to climb up the rock to get towards where the actual spring falls. And there's a couple of little tricks that I've been shown by some friends as to how to easily collect that spring water, but you do need to make your own little funnel kit, funnel and hose. What I love about these springs is the fact that there's never anyone around. You go into a supermarket or shop or a pub or whatever it is and there's people everywhere. But when it comes to something like a spring where there's natural spring water just flowing straight out of the mountains, you never see a crowd. I wonder the shamans love coming here. I'm here over at the Shaman spring, which is in the Blackheath area. This is one of the lesser known springs in the whole of the Sydney's Blue Mountains, but it's a personal favourite of mine for the reason that it's just less known, and it seems like all the people in this sort of alternative health world, as well as the locals, come here to this spring. Because of the trickiness that the water doesn't really sort of pour out like it does in North Lawson Park, where you can just easily go in, fill up your water, then come back. With this one, you actually have to sort of get a funnel if you want to make it easier. So a friend of mine came up with the idea of just getting a funnel and threading a hose through it. And so I'm doing the same thing here as well, because I thought it's going to save me a lot of time, and then that way I can just sort of get my water and in and out and away I go. So I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. If it doesn't hold properly, then the suggestion is just to get some sort of duct tape, put that around where the hose and the funnel meet, just so that way you don't get much dripping and things like that. But I got a feeling that this should work as it is. If it doesn't, I'll do that as well. Yeah, it's just a nice place to come. You might have seen some of the scenery on the way that I shot. Yeah, beautiful place and hardly anybody here, and just nice to get some different spring water. This water's not as sweet as what you would find in the North Lawson Park. But it's all beautiful, it's all refreshing, it's all good for you. And hope you make your way out to any of the springs in your local area. The totem animal for this spring is the frog, and I've been told that I haven't seen it myself, but if you look carefully you might be lucky enough to find the frog that's in the spring, and if you do, it's good luck. So today unfortunately I didn't see any frog, but it's just something to look out for when you're having a bit of fun when you're out here. A bit slipperier than I expected. Probably wear better shoes if you're going to be coming out here, but it looks like the water works, so I'm just going to get my bottles and start filling up. I think the trick with what I've done is I've got a hose that's quite thick, so it looks like it's a lot harder to get the water out with. I think if it wasn't as thick in width, probably would have flowed a bit better. But other than that, it did work, did do the trick. But again, North Lawson Park, if you want to fill the bottle up in like 10 seconds flat, go there. But if you want something that's going to take a little bit more time, but you want something that's probably just a little bit different, if you want to sort of mix it up a bit, then try this Shaman spring. One for the road as well. The other thing I noticed was that if you keep the hose as stretched out as you can and sort of going more down on a slope, then the water flows out of it a lot easier as well. So yeah, for a first try, it wasn't bad, but I probably prefer to get a thinner hose. I love how these springs are more like grottos. And see how all the water collects into that frog pond. I wouldn't drink from that pond, by the way. I have seen people drink from it. Not sure if you can hear the sound on camera, but these trees are making a lot of noise.